So first one is, unlike most of these things that we do online where there's confidentiality, obviously this one is being recorded. Therefore, everything that you share will be shared with other people. People could buy this course in the future, so managing that for yourselves, what you're prepared to share. Yeah. Other practicalities, I will keep you muted. There'll probably, knowing Mark, be lots of opportunities to share, maybe in small groups, maybe in the bigger group, in which case you can unmute yourself to speak and then mute yourself again, and I'll keep you muted. Otherwise there comes a lot of background noise. Any tech issues, you can message me in the chat rather than Mark. Phones, so treating this like you're at a in-person.
If I see you on the fucking phone, I will remove you from this call and you will not be invited back, okay? No warnings, just immediately thrown the fuck out. If you have kids, that's fine, but wear headphones. If you're cooking or live, that's fine. If you need to do live stuff, but don't be so fucking rude as to go on a phone call.
So yeah, so if you could please not use your phones during this, that would be great. We'll just model our differences here from the beginning. Yeah. I think that's it.
Can I say something? I'll have to apologise. I've just on my new Mac and it seems to link into my phone. So I've switched my phones off, but it still links into them. So apologies in advance.
Okay, Zara, apologies mean nothing here. No apologies.
Right, okay.
No please, no thank you. Those words are all banned from now on.
Right,
for the remainder of the 90 minutes, be quiet. For the remainder of the 90 minutes, you're not allowed to say please or thank you or sorry, okay? Under any circumstances. Every time you do, I kill a kitten. That's the rules, okay? One cat dies for every time you say please, thank you or sorry. Everyone got it? It's going to be tough for some of you. Who thinks they're going to be a mass kitten murderer today? Just give me a wave. Mass kitten murderers. Oh my God. Okay. Well, the Russians are like, no, why would they say sorry? Fuck you. Okay. So basic frame. We have a way of being that's embodied. What does that mean? It means it's held in place by our patterns of posture, breath, movement, awareness. That way of being is not your fault, but it is now your responsibility. That way of being comes from your culture, how gender is seen in your culture, okay? Ethnicity, age, all these things. It comes from your family. Your family fucked you up. Great, we're all fucked up. It was a strategy that you unconsciously developed for getting love and safety and belonging, okay? So as a child, you went, you know what? I shouldn't be, and most of you on this call, it'll be something like, I shouldn't be aggressive. I shouldn't say no. I shouldn't ask for what I want. All right? I shouldn't, that's selfish. I shouldn't be mean. I should please everyone. I was coaching an artist today, and she said, I want everyone to love my art because then they'll love me. All human beings on the planet have to love her art or else she will be miserable. That's a recipe for fucking disaster, isn't it? Absolutely a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Or I'm responsible for other people's feelings. Okay. Everyone has to be happy and then I can be happy. It's my job to keep everyone happy. I have the opposite of that. All right. Luckily we've got Erica here. Erica, do you have I have to keep everyone happy, or I have to please everyone? I have to be liked by everyone, which is your fucked up neurosis?
Yeah, it's I need to make sure other people are okay, then I'm okay. So it's like as long as they're okay, then I'm okay. It doesn't, and my needs come second. Your
needs come second. Got it. Yeah. Otherwise, it's selfish, isn't it? Selfish. Okay.
It's manipulative.
No. That's what you've realized. We'll come to that. Don't jump ahead. So what is the fucked up pattern you have that's made you think, you know what, I'm going to give Mark Walsh £10. Fuck me, this was cheap, wasn't it? I think there was actually a mistake. I think it was meant to be 100. But anyway, I thought I'd go with it. It doesn't matter. I'll have some fun. So it was 50. What happened? How did it become 10? I saw £10 on it today. I thought it was at least 50. Anyway, if you got stung for £50, nice one. Thanks. I appreciate it. I'll be having takeaway on you tonight. So, what is the fucked up patterns that you have that meant you parted with your time and money? What made you go, ooh, will it be online afterwards? Not for you. Yes, you can also swear, Aggie. I have a secretary called Aggie from Hungary. Swearing in Hungarian is a good language to swear in. It will be sold online afterwards, yes, for more than £10. So what was the pattern in the chat that made you go, you know what, I think I need this workshop? What was it? There wasn't much description given, so it's mostly your projection. Come on. Inability to say no. Who has that one? Tell me, yes, you do. Okay, lots of people that can't say no. Now I'm going to ask for more money later on. Sick of getting fucked over. Okay. And that could be the little things right down to the really big things. I'm not going to make jokes about the big things, but we know they're there. Feel guilty. Who feels guilty when they say no? They can say no, but they feel guilty. They feel so guilty. Yeah, I've heard of this emotion of guilt. Wanting to be a well-boundaried manager. Okay, so professional implications. What's the implication of not being a well-boundaried manager? Want to grow a backbone and still have a compassionate heart. Oh my God, is that even possible? Yes, it is. That is what we're all about today. Need everyone to be safe before. And then it trails off. Had enough of being ripped off. Okay, yes, don't be a sucker. Lack of reciprocity. Whose fault is that? Your fault. Okay? Fool me once, that's their fault. Okay? But if it keeps happening, it's your fucking fault. Okay? People say, oh, I've had 3 shitty boyfriends. I'm like, okay, what's the common factor here? You are. Okay? You're the common factor. If it's just 1, I've got bad luck. 2, okay. Okay, 3, this is your fault. So taking responsibility. People treat you like you train them to. Make sense? Someone was late for my filming today, one person, and the regulars who know me were like, I don't think they know you yet, Mark. And they turned up late and they were like, oh, there was traffic. I'm like, well, actually, it's not good enough because I'm actually paying £500 an hour for this film crew. And I really don't appreciate it that you were late. And they were like, yeah, but there was traffic. I said, I don't care. And I just looked them right in the eye and said, it's not good enough. Never do it again. Yeah. Who here could do that? Who here could do that? Okay, this person cost me money. I had film crew, top end film crew booked. They didn't take their slot. And as a result, someone else could have got coached. I can fucking change someone's life coaching them in half an hour. That's someone whose life didn't get changed and I lost a bunch of money. Not happy. I told them about it, looked them straight in the eye. I said, here's the consequence of your action. I do not like it. Do not do it again. Okay, that person will not do that again with me. Right? Like the people who were regulars who then turned up, like I told them the story. They were like, yeah, I would never be late for you. Why would they never be late for me? Because they know I don't take that shit. That's what this course is called, right? People treat you like you let them. Yeah, actual real abusers, they interview people. Now we want to be a bit careful here because we could get into like victim blaming, right? I would say it's your responsibility still, even though it's the perpetrator is still the perpetrator. We're not saying they're not the perpetrator, okay? They actually interview people. Muggers will look at people and go, too confident, that one's a victim. Make sense? Yeah? So you can only take responsibility for your side of the street. That's what you can take charge of. How you guys doing? You still alive? You still breathing? Are you deep in self-blame? You fucking narcissists. You fucking narcissists. Some of you guys are like, oh, it's all about me and my pattern. I'm so bad. How don't you dare use the gold that I am giving you to beat yourself up with. I'm not giving you a whip, you kinky fuckers. I'm not giving you another whip for you to go, oh, I'm such a bad Mark said the thing and I don't do the thing. Don't do that. Don't take this as another tool to abuse yourself with. That's banned today. That's banned. Nothing I tell you is a way for you to beat yourself up. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can agree to not abuse it? I'm not giving you tools to abuse yourself with. Thumbs up if you can agree to not abusing yourself for the next 90 minutes. After that, if you want to go eat lemons, fine. Okay, but for 90 minutes, no using the gold we will give you to abuse yourself with. That's a complete misuse of this work. Oh, I saw it in some of your faces. Right, let's see what bullshit you've written in the comments. I feel pressured to be too nice and end up, you do it. You do it. Okay, Maram, you might feel the pressure, but you put the pressure on yourself. Personal responsibility is the first thing. No victim triangles here. Okay, no victim positions. Consideration and sensitivity when placing boundaries. Yes, of course, of course. I don't scream at my niece when she asks for another story to be read to her at bedtime, do I? I'm not like, no, you little 10-year-old bitch, there's no way I'm reading you a story. I just say no. But it's firm and she feels it. And I work with kids. I work with about 50,000 kids in about 20 countries. I tell you what, kids know when a no is a real no, and they know when it's a maybe. They fucking feel it. They don't even have to speak your language and they feel it. Okay, they can be going laka, laka, laka in Mexican or whatever, Patricia, right? And I can just be like, no. And they don't know what the word means, but they feel the vibe. Yeah? People are basically the same as kids and dogs on an embodied level. On a basic embodied level. We have all this like clever neocortex bullshit on top, but how did I get to be like that? Yes, we will talk about this. Okay, we're not going to do like trauma frame today. Trauma is a part of this, but that's not our main frame today. Trauma healing is beyond our scope a little bit today, though. It is important when it comes to all this stuff. I want to be mean to people that have been mean to me, but then I feel guilty. Okay, why do you feel guilty for saying no or being what you call mean? I would probably call firm. Why do you feel guilty? Because you're making a stupid mistake. Erica, what do you think the main mistake these people are making is? It's absolutely retarded, this mistake.
Well, it's what I spoke to earlier, which is that the conflating of I can either be lovely, nice, kind, giving, kind person, or I can be powerful, which is mean and aggressive and tyrannical. So
what a shitty choice. So this is the heart of this whole workshop, okay? You think you have a choice, which is a false choice. Okay, you think this in your bones, so you need to condition yourself through embodiment out of it. But logically, let's first get it logically, then we'll find the conditioning. So most people, and this includes people who go the other way, feel they have a choice between either I'm strong and tough and effective, but a bit of an asshole, okay, or a lot of an asshole, or I'm really nice, but I'm a complete wimp and I'm a total pushover. Actually, most people, given that choice, would choose nice but a pushover, because at least you still get love. You just don't get what you want. You don't ask for what you want, you don't say no to what you want. It's the same thing, okay? So that is a false choice. That is a false dichotomy. There is a way to be firm and ask for what you want and say no and still take care of yourself. The fundamental mistake, however, I was referring to, that's the fundamental point of this workshop, Eric. So I see why Erica said that. Is the first, though, before we go back to that, that's more deep, just on a slightly more specific level, you're not responsible for others' emotions. Okay, you can't make me angry. Okay, you can't make me scared. You can't make me anything. You don't have that much power over me. This is, in some ways, again, it's narcissism. It's some sort of illusion of godlike control, that you're somehow responsible for controlling other people's emotions. It's really quite selfish and bizarre, really. Okay, now you can care about other people's emotions, right? So I might say to Erica, I don't know, you've got a big nose. Okay, now that might make her laugh or that might make her cry. I therefore cannot be, logically, follow my logic, I cannot be impacting her in whatever way I want, because I don't know. So for example, if I said, I don't know, my wife is part Jewish, if you're a Nazi, you would get angry. If you were Jewish, you might be quite happy, or you might suggest some recipes for her or some shit. I don't know, whatever people do. Okay, but you see, that depends on you, not on me. You're the major factor here. So Erica might say she's got a big nose, she might smile, she might know I'm joking, she might think nothing, she might go, okay, I know it's a part of a training, so it's no big deal. Or she might be like devastated because she's got massive nose issues. All right? Any response there, Erica? How's it going?
I'm fine with my nose.
You're fine with your nose? Good nose. Nice pair of nostrils on it. Look at the nostrils on that. Whoa. Okay. Never had your nostrils objectified before, have you? At least I'm fucking original. All right, so everyone okay? Still, you're just trying to get over the shock of the nostril objectification. So you get my basic logic. You get my basic logic. I cannot cause another person's feeling. You're not that powerful. You're not some omnipotent emotion god, right? It's bizarre. It's a bizarre idea. Children get this idea because they think they're omnipotent. They think they can make their mum and dad happy. Children go through this stage where they're sort of pseudo gods. You know, they think they're godlike. Okay, grow the fuck up. You can't possibly be responsible for people's emotions. Now, you can still care. Okay, I might choose not to tell Erica she had a big nose because I'm making a prediction about how it might land. Okay, this idea of like, you triggered me, fucking grow up. American college student bullshit. That's like 18-year-olds at university thinking they're still 5 years old. You're responsible for your emotions. No one else is. So you cannot be triggered, okay? And equally, you cannot trigger other people. This language is complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. Yeah? It was used originally from trauma therapy. A trigger is valid language. So a trigger is something that reminds someone of a past trauma. But you triggered me, or I'm triggered, that's illogical. It makes no sense. You with me so far? Okay, so let's all do a little bit of a ritual, okay, of letting go. We're going to draw a pentagram and get naked. No, we're not. Just throw it away. That idea that you're responsible for other people's emotions, just throw that shit away. Throw that shit away. You might have to do a burning ritual or a washing ritual. You might have to do a bit more than this, but this will be our start for today. Okay? So we're going to play a game. It's called You're a Big Fat Cunt. Here's how it works, okay? Erica, you're willing to play the You're a Big Fat Cunt game with me? And in this game, we will call each other Big Fat Cunt, and the other one will say, thank you very much. I like that fact.
I'd love to play this game with you.
Excellent. So it's a consensual game. You don't have to play if you don't want to, of course. So Erica, you are a big fat cunt.
Oh, thanks very much. Mark, you're a big fat cunt.
I am. I'm the bestest, biggest, fattest cuntest in the whole wide world. Thank you very much, Erica. Okay, that's the game. Does it make sense? Okay. If that's too much for you, by the way, cunt is gender neutral insult in England. It's not about women. Okay, in America it's sexist. In England it's just offensive. Okay, which we don't believe in this workshop. The concept of offense is given up. Okay, give that shit up. It's more victim bullshit. So if you want to prefer, you could play the you smell of poo game. Okay, we're going to give you an option. That's the same game but a bit less intense. Make sense? No? Yes? No? Okay, so you've got an option. We're going to do breakout rooms. You've only got 1 minute. It's going to be like a couple of minutes max where you can do this. And what I want you to do is realize as you say it, you're not responsible for this person's feelings. I'm not suggesting you should go around doing this. It's probably still not a smart move, but I want you to get used to the idea of the game. All right? So Erica, breakout rooms. Let's say groups of 3. You might have to have a little bit of a big fat cunt triangle.
Yep. Groups of 3 for a minute, yeah?
Yep. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to though, guys. If it feels like too much, you don't want to do the poo version either, that's fine. Just stay here, no problem. Erica and I will dance for you.
Yeah. Great.
If you find yourself on your own, just wait and we'll find you a friend. Frozen fruit in a smoothie.
Oh yeah, so good.
Mwah, mwah. In the deep end, huh?
Oh God, it's full on Walsh.
It's full Walsh. It's full Walsh.
I just need to move someone who's on their own. That's always a
giant throbbing Walsh.
Why can't I move her? Move to. Yeah, it's so full on Walsh. I love it. I'm just like,
I think we should give an Eric a break at some point, just to take it down. So.
I take everyone.
Are you noticing your inner saviour come up?
Yeah, it's great. It's really great to yeah, I do notice it. Just like wanting to explain it, wanting to kind of soften it, but it's very good for me, you know.
It's a little bit unleashed tonight. Interesting. It didn't sell very well at first, and all of a sudden loads of people started signing up.
And well, I think also you just really quite like being mean to really overly nice people. Like it's a good act.
My inner abuser comes out. It's terrible. My inner persecutor. Yeah, that's just under the surface, though, for most people who are really nice, is that
Yes.
the other side of the triangle is just under the surface.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm probably less likely to have that than someone who's too nice.
It was revealing in the that thing that I put about on my Facebook, like what does
Close the groups down, will you?
Yep. Oh, it's set to.
Gives it 1 minute, yeah.
It's set to 2 minutes. Sorry, it's set to. How do I override that? They might come back. Yeah. Okay, great.
Here we are.
Great.
Hey, Samira, how you doing? Keeping cool?
Trying to. I'm actually burning hot in Lisbon here on a couch.
Lisbon. Oh, that sounds good. But you're moving away from Lisbon, you told me.
Well, I was in Conqueros. We traveled from yesterday. It's a very tiny town, like a couple of hours from here. We had a COVID test today, and tomorrow we go to Vienna.
Nice. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I'm gonna rush at myself later next week. Gotta get these tests you can get now. They give you 24-hour response, so just sign them off. Who's Tara? Hello, Tara. Where are you in the world, Tara?
Hi, Mark. I'm in Tepoztlan, in Mexico.
In Mexico. So there's 2 Mexicans on this call. Good to meet you. Are you a yoga teacher?
Used to be. Right now, I'm just
What are you now? Not nothing. Just chill, having a nice time.
project manager. That's
Project manager. Never know what that means.
Yeah, no, me neither. It just means I get to boss people around and stuff.
Excellent. Excellent. Sounds like fun. Okay, well, nice to meet you. I think people are about to
Thanks
come
for
back.
this,
Right?
Mark. It's like a surreal experience.
You're welcome, Tara.
Yeah, 10 seconds and they should close. Sorry, it's automatically set to 2 minutes.
No worries.
Marie, you said you're coming to Lisbon to make a test. I totally misunderstood you, I think. Mark?
Say again? No. I'm not coming to Lisbon for a little while. I'm going to Russia, but I have to make
To Russia.
Okay, you mean horrible people are just swearing at each other. What's wrong with you? Oh my God, I'm shocked. I'm just shocked and disgusted at how awful you people are. How does it feel to be told you're bad? You're so mean. You're just cruel and horrible. Oh my God. Okay. So why were we doing that? I'm not suggesting you go around being mean to people, okay? I'm suggesting you have the ability to be firm when needed, the ability sometimes to tell people to fuck off, sometimes to say hard truths. People don't like hearing a lot of truths, right? But they can still be kind. The main confusion is being conflict avoidant is the same as being kind. No, it fucking isn't. Being conflict avoidant is more cruel, okay? It's more cruel. My brother-in-law diagnoses people with cancer. That's what he does. He does tests in a microscope in a hospital, and then he tells people they have cancer. Is that cruel? Of course it's not cruel. If I have cancer, I want to know about it, right? Is it easy? No, it's not fucking easy. That is a hard job. That's someone who knows how to give a hard message, because that's the kind of thing to do. It's actually, conflict avoidance is very selfish. It's saying, I'd rather not have the short term. It's also very short term. I'd rather not have the short-term discomfort of saying the thing that's going to feel bad for me, right? And now it's like, yeah, but it's bad for them. It's like, really? Are you really looking after them? Are you really looking after them or looking after yourself? It's a form of cowardice, okay? So seeing the kind of thing, long-term at least, and also for the relationship, there needs to be honesty in any relationship. Can we agree on that? For a good relate, whether it's intimate, working, whatever, right? So actually being able to give tough feedback. I did some coaching sessions today where I said, listen, may I give you some feedback? Ask for permission. It's not just about throwing shit at people, right? I said, here's what I see, and I see this in you. And one person, I was like, you seem unavailable and you seem defensive. And they were like, yeah, that's totally my problem. Let's coach. And they were like ready to go. Had I not had the courage to give them that message, the coaching would have taken a long time. Right. But I still felt, don't get this idea that I just like wake up and like get my dick out and hit the world in the face with it. It's like, I still felt like, it's like there was a moment where it didn't feel comfortable for me. Okay. Now we are different cultures, different. I was working with an Indian man the other day. He's got some cultural stuff around this. He was telling me about his religion, his culture, and all this kind of stuff. It's like we are conditioned differently. No doubt women are conditioned differently from men in the UK, for example. So it's fair to say, Erica, I'm not making that up.
Yeah, no, there's definitely different conditioning going on and different barriers to this.
So different barriers, but none of that's an excuse. Okay, we're starting in different places. You build your way up. Okay. So for example, the not saying, did anyone say thank you at the end of their breakout? How many kittens am I killing? How many? Oh my God, my wife's going to be so unhappy with the kitten massacre. There's at least 8 kittens. Guys, have a heart. Okay, kitten murderers. So, where was I? Totally lost my point. Something about different barriers, right? So a thing you could practice is not saying thank you when you order a coffee, or not saying please more than once. Okay. So instead of being like, sorry, can I have a Americano, please? Thanks. If that's not too much trouble, thanks. Sorry. Okay. I had a Colombian girlfriend a while back, and she used to laugh. She said in Britain, she trod on someone's toe and they apologized. And she thought it was the funniest fucking thing. She said, you British people, my wife's Ukrainian. She's apologized to me 5 times. Ever. I'm counting. She claims 7, I claim 5. Okay? It's like, we've known each other over 5 years. That's 1 per year. She's like, well, I have not been wrong more than 5 times. Why would I apologize? And even when she like really fucks up, like we were traveling and she ran out of money and then just demanded I pay for her thousands of pounds. She was like, you know what, I made a mistake here. I've miscalculated my money and you need to pay now. I'm really sorry. That was it. She apologized sincerely once, right? I was kind of thinking, normally I'd say once is enough. In this circumstance, I was like, 2 or 3 would be nice. Can you imagine that? Okay, so you can don't start with your husband or your wife or your best friend or your kids. They're too hard. Start with the guy in Starbucks. Start with little things. Okay, start with little things. Say it once and mean it. That is a great practice. Or only say sorry when you really mean it. That's a great practice. Then your sorry is trustworthy. Nice people aren't nice. They're lying fuckers. That's what they are. They're not nice. They're lying fuckers. Yeah. So when you say sorry or you say please or you say thank you, say it from the heart and really mean it. Can you manage that as a practice? Like full authenticity? Yeah. As opposed to, Erica, how are nice people deeply manipulative? This has been part of your learning, hasn't it? To like see this, like the awful evilness of niceness. Speak to that, because it's not really my thing.
Yeah, so I'm working with, so it's manipulative because we're trying to make ourselves feel okay. So for me, there's an underlying I'm not good enough, or I'm not okay, or a lack of self-confidence. And I'm trying to bolster that by manipulating other people to like me, by pleasing them. So it's like, I can shapeshift, and I can be just a little bit different or a lot different in order to elicit a response. I'm very good at reading people's responses, and I can kind of change as I'm talking to elicit a particular response from someone. And
for your benefit.
For my own benefit, because I don't feel that deeply in me, independent of the response that I'm getting. So I need a particular response, and I will elicit that. And the sort of please and the sorry and the thank you is a way of doing that. Is a way of kind of being eliciting a particular response, and it's not genuine. It's not. I'll say so, or I would have in the past said sorry or please, or given like being overly what do you call it when you give compliments unnecessarily? Like,
praising.
You know, no need for it. No need.
Charm is the other side of this, yeah. Okay, Tara said, but aren't we independent and interdependent and relational? Yeah, no. So my guess is if you're on this course, that's not the lesson you need. Okay, if this was a course called Being a Recovering Arsehole, okay, if this course was called For Arseholes to Learn to Be Kind, then yes, I would be stressing that point. I would be saying, you know what, we're also relational, we're connected. Okay, but for people who are too relational and too connected, You're confusing your needs and other people's needs, okay? That's the last thing you need to be told. So yeah, we're relational, but actually we can't have authentic communication, authentic relationship if we're nice, because it's still a manipulation. It's a barrier to authenticity. I need to know that my wife's pissed off with me, right? If she's just smiling and pretending she's not, which she would never do, by the way. My wife should be fucking co-teaching this. She's brilliant. Okay, like if she was smiling and pretending not to be pissed off, how can we connect? You know, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, what's wrong? You should know. What the fuck? Yeah. Makes sense. It's actually a barrier to real relationship and connection if we're not able to be honest. If we're not able to say no. Let's take eroticism, because I'm a pervert, okay? So how erotic is it if someone's yes isn't a full yes? So if you can't say no, you can't say yes, right? If you can't say a full no, then it means your yes is always a maybe. That's like, would you like to make love? Yeah, okay, if you want to. What the fuck? How unerotic is that compared to absolutely not, I'm not in the mood. But when I am in the mood, 100% come and get me. That's so much better. You see how much more erotic that is? Like so much better when the yes is a full yes. Here's another one which just shows you how fucking dangerous it is. As a man who has a fairly yang active sexuality, if someone does not have the ability to say no, that's fucking terrifying for me. Why is that terrifying for me? I could be abusing them, which just feels like shit, right? And also I never know if they were interested or not. Make sense? Right? That's terrifying. How dangerous that situation is you're putting me in. Fucking dangerous. Yeah? Very cruel thing to do. Okay? So this is also having strong boundaries, being able to ask for what you want. This is also about kindness. It's not the opposite of kindness. It's a form of kindness. It's a form of kindness to say no to a child who wants to eat another candy and you know they're going to be sick. It's a form of kindness to tell your lover what really turns you on instead of just tolerating whatever bullshit they're doing. How you guys doing? Are you not whipping yourself again, are you? You're not like deep in self-loathing or anything. Can I just check you're still being kind? Let's do a bit of self-love pose. Come on, we need a bit of kindness here. One on the body, one on the shoulder. Give yourself a bit of self-love. One way of looking at trying to get everyone to like you is that it's trying to fill a vacuum that you're not filling yourself. So if you're able to give yourself real self-love and real nourishment, okay, and this isn't stroking size too. If you're able to give yourself real self-love and real self-nourishment, why would you be addicted to trying to get that from other people? An addiction, the definition of addiction, is when you keep wanting something that doesn't fulfill the need, right? It's like an empty hole there of your own self-love that isn't being met by other people's love. And it's an impossible void to fill. So the piece around self-love is not a small piece. Sometimes it gets kind of a bit overdone in a kind of narcissistic kind of, I'm practicing self-care, fuck everyone, okay? But on the whole, I think it's a positive part of this. Anything you want to add on self-love, Erica?
Yeah, I really think it's foundational, and that's often where I start with working with women, is because the orientation has always been out to other, to make sure that I'm okay through other. We sort of have left our own connection to self behind, our own. So if we're not connected to ourselves, if we've not got that live connection, how do we know what we need, what we really want? We're not picking up those cues. So really coming back out of that and into self, and then into like providing for my own needs, relieves that need to, as Mark says, orientate towards other to achieve it. Yeah, so that for me, that's foundational, that movement back, coming into self and reacquainting ourselves with our own impulses, our own desires.
Right, that can be really simple things, right, Erica? Like it can be just sitting when you buy lunch, go, what do I actually want to eat? What do I, right, rather than what have I told myself I'm going to eat? What's my diet say? What have I planned? Actually just being really tuned in to, do I want that right now? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, here's a fun one. Which nipple do I want kissed? Okay. The left one or the right one? Pretty similar, but slightly different. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Can be simple things. When have I had enough of something? Whether that's food or sleep or masturbating or whatever. Okay. Okay, another confusion in here. Is it okay to be unkind to people because they are unkind to me? All right. So kindness is one of my key values. When people get to know me, they always say, people like Patricia, who've trained with me a little bit, they always say, oh, you're much nicer than I thought. Oh, you got a lot nicer last year. Oh, your wife's really having a positive effect on you. She always gets the credit, right? Okay, and the truth is, I've not got any nicer. They've just seen it, yeah? So being firm is a form of kindness. Being boundaried is a form of kindness. We're not telling people your needs is a form of kindness because I can meet those needs, right? Like that gives me if Erica says, you know what, I'd love to be bought lunch. I really want to be treated. It's my birthday. Mark, can you look after me and buy me lunch? She's telling me her needs. That gives me a chance to be generous. That gives me a chance to support my friend and colleague. Right? That's a treat. It's a treat. I was just in Berlin. It's really hard to buy women lunch in Berlin, is what I discovered. Okay? It's like I had to kind of like put this whole like feminist analysis before I could buy lunch. And that actually takes something from me. I want to be generous. I'm rich. I don't fucking give a shit about 10 euros. It's like, I've got plenty of money. Let me buy you lunch. Yeah? Fucking. Anyway, so don't think of this as a, being mean, quite the opposite. So this is about being more kind.
Yeah.
More kind.
It's separating
kindness. Say that again.
It's separating niceness and
yeah.
kindness, and niceness is not kind.
Nice is a form of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a form of abuse, usually to yourself, but often to the other person as well. Actually, it's a subtle form of abuse. So how do you, next time you catch yourself being nice, go look, oh look, I'm self-abusing again. Maybe this is a strategy I don't want to continue for the rest of my life. Maybe this is something I don't want to teach my daughters. Maybe this is a strategy I don't want to model in the world. Yeah. If you're very relational, doing it for the sake of others can be quite a good motivation. Who do you not want to teach to be nice? Put that in the chat. You teach people with your example. I've worked with kids all over the world. Kids copy what you do, not what you say. Okay. My niece has got great boundaries because every time I go to pick her up, I say, can Uncle Mark pick you up? And she says, yes, nearly always. Okay. She's got great boundaries because we've taught her that. She's modeled that. My sister's fierce too. It's fierce Irish women in my family. People always, or people are like, you want women to be placid? And I'm like, no, I really don't. You should fucking meet my wife or my family. Me and my children, family, my girls, kids, the boys too. Great. Yeah, your kindness is not kind if it does not include yourself. The Dalai Lama said that. My boy Dali, yeah? Says kindness is not complete if it does not include oneself. And also it's a form of unkindness to others. It's usually damaging long-term to a relationship to be nice. Children who could be harmed by manipulation. Thank you. Or children who could harm through manipulation. We don't like to think of it the other way around. Yeah. Be honest with yourself how you're manipulating people. Be honest with yourself. We're getting better at spotting what's called masculine violence or toxic masculinity, right? That's overt violence. Yeah. Good. We should be getting better at that. Nobody should be beaten up by their spouse, for example. We should be getting better at spotting that and calling it out and not accepting it. What we're not yet very good at is feminine violence. I don't mean female, I mean feminine. So what I mean by that is indirect manipulative violence. Okay, I used to work with kids. Boys hit each other, girls destroy each other. It is pretty gendered amongst kids, not always amongst adults. Okay, have you seen anyone go to a girls' school? Anyone see the nightmare this can become? Yeah? It's like that's feminine violence. That's the violence of niceness, the violence of smiling while destroying someone's reputation. Manipulative. You've seen that? So let's be honest, that's a form of violence that's occurring. Yeah? Almost everyone, including myself, does that at some point. It's much more common. Like, who here has punched someone in the face in the last year? Other than martial arts, I have not. Only one or two of you have. Samara, okay, I'll just be careful of you from now on, okay? Who here has said something about someone else that was a bit bitchy in the last year? Come on, get your hands up. Pretty much everyone. Pretty much. Farida's like, no, not me. I'm pure and innocent. You know who I'm most scared of? Is the people that don't know they have a dark side. Mm-hmm. The people I'm terrified of are the people who think they're the righteous ones. They may be religious, they may be woke, they may be right-wing or left-wing. The people that think they're too good and they don't have the capacity to be violent or mean. Those people are terrifying. Yeah. Much like, this is one reason I like being around martial artists, because they know that they can be dangerous. Okay. And they choose not to be. It's very different than saying, I'm sweet and nice, I would never hurt anyone. Yeah.
I think we spoke to this, it might have been in the break, but it's the if we operate overly in niceness, it's like I'm nice, and then it comes back with a resurgence to the other end of
It's a shadow, right?
The shadow reasserts very violently, or can do. Yeah.
So it's great. Those who identify as a victim, they're actually building their inner persecutor. In terms of that. Just the other one that might come out is rescuer. Has anyone had a rescuer come out today? Like when I'm saying something really mean and tough, and you're like, raw, and you're like, I hope everyone's okay. Are they going to be okay? I hope Veronica looks upset. I hope she's doing okay. Yeah. Makes sense. A bit of a rescuer come out. Being a rescuer is fucking patronizing. Okay. You'll see this in a lot of sort of social justice-y kind of stuff. You'll see this in politics. You'll see this in a lot of caring professions, like therapists, yoga teachers do this a lot. Okay. This idea of we have to look after those poor childlike people from Africa or, you know, wherever. Right. And it's not really coming from genuine care. It's coming from narcissism. It's I'm a rescuer. Yeah. So if you're a rescuer, someone else has to be a persecutor. You just made a bad guy. Normally it's me. Okay. Make sense? So who are you making the victims? Who are you making the rescuers? And who are you making the persecutors? You're creating that nasty little triangle. Yeah. It's the victims that make that triangle. Guys doing okay? Just a quick check in with yourself. Sometimes with the like knowing your needs, that's the first step, right, Erica? Just kind of tuning into yourself. Like, what do I want? How am I doing? Am I tired? Am I had enough of Mark? Yeah.
I think that could be huge. I think that's a huge movement for a nice person, is just to come in and check in with the body. How am I doing? I think that can be quite a seismic shift.
Good stuff. Okay, we're about halfway through. Give me an energy level check. Have I exhausted you with my yangness that can be quite high energy, low energy, where you're at? Do it to the side, Germans. Oh, high energy, low energy. Someone got the joke. Fabian, nice to see you here, Fabian. Oh, he's an EFC student this year. All right, cool. So, main skill sets. Asking for what you want. Saying no. Challenging people. Okay, there's 3. Erica, any that you think are really core other than that?
Well, what I just said, but coming back to self. So privacy closed, it might be inner, turning inwards. Yeah. Great.
So retuning back to self when you lose yourself, coming back to self when you've lost a sense of, and again, start with, am I tired? Am I hungry? What do I want to eat? Which nipple do I want kissed? Start with some simple stuff. Okay. Aggie likes that idea. Yeah. She's like, smile. I will tell my partner later. This is an experiment. It's from the workshop. You have to do it. Okay. So good. Being careful with the over apologizing, the diminutizing your needs, right? Like, look, if it's just, I'm not using the word just ever again. There's one. Can you just do this little thing for me? It's just a small thing. I just want you to go to Mount Everest and climb it. Right? This is one of all my trainers that I train in body coaching. They're banned from saying the word just. Do people do that in other languages? Do you do that in Arabic or Hungarian or Dutch and shit? Is that, yeah? Farida, I'd love to hear, like, is there like another word in Spanish, Patricia? Do people say that? Just? Do people say, can you just do this? It's like, I'm not really asking anything. It's not really that big a deal. Yeah? Cool. So the little language patterns. And then, of course, we have the body. We'll do some more with the body, but I think we'll give you guys a chance to process a bit with each other. The question is, what's landing here? What's landing? So what's like, okay, I'm going to remember that one. I'm going to talk to my therapist or my cat or my mum about that tomorrow. You know, what's landing? So a few minutes, groups of 4 or 5, if you'd be so kind, Erica. If that's not too much trouble, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, there's a few, 4 or 5, you say?
Yeah.
There's a few 3s. Is that all right? Okay.
Okay, if you don't have anyone in your group, stay still. Erica will sort you out. Just stay put. This is like a whole group of nice people, isn't it? And she's frozen. Oh, good.
Oh, great. Okay.
Pause the recording, maybe. We're going to be talking shit. Hey, how you guys doing? Let's hear from a few people. How you doing? What's landing? Unmute yourself. Say hi. Is it hard to be really, really asshole good looking? What's landing? What's hitting home? What's resonating? What questions do you have?
I think I was going to say it resonates for me as a clinical supervisor that sometimes some of the words that a therapist might want to say, they might say it in a nicer way. And I think my trainer is very similar to yourself. She used to say the word, and you're not saying the word you need, you're not punctuating the feeling. Mm-hmm. So I think that's brought it up for me. If you're too nice, you're not actually saying the real feeling, are you? That you
right. Nice.
Does that make sense? I think that's what's resonating. Yeah. And that's helpful to hear it in another way. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the uncomfortableness again, right? Like I had some training in suicide prevention. You know how you stop people killing themselves? First thing you need to do is you need to ask them, are you thinking about killing yourself? Yeah. You need to ask them straight. Okay. Some good trainings in this if you want to look them up. Suicide prevention courses. But it takes courage to sit down with a friend and say, are you thinking about killing yourself? And then you say, are you making plans? Okay, do you have any pills? You know, you can go through it. But you have to be pretty brave in that conversation. If you start beating around the bush, it's not great. Okay? And in terms of, no, it wasn't quite the point that Zara was making there, but, you know, in terms of like being authentic as well. I like it. Mm-hmm. Bit overwhelming. Okay, if it gets too much at any point, step out. Remember, you get the recording for free. So we've got about another half hour here. If you feel like you know, maximum Walsh is like drinking vodka. You don't necessarily want to keep drinking it all night. Do you know what I mean? One of my friends said, I love you in small doses. I'm not insulted by that. Okay. This is vodka, not like lukewarm American piss beer. Okay. This is the concentrated shit. So if you feel like you've had enough after 5 shots, go to bed. It's fine. You got the recording. The bottle's there for you in the morning.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing? This is Aggie.
Hello, Aggie.
Hi, we were just talking about in our group, but how much we are afraid of the other person's reaction, for instance, if we assert ourselves. And I thought it was a really good point, and I don't know what's your take on that, especially for being called, you know, boss bitch and intimidating and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple of things to separate out here. So the first thing is you didn't really believe me when I said you're not responsible for other people's feelings. Okay, once you get that through your thick head, you're going to realize that it's like, why would you be anxious saying things to people? Yeah. So now there's a scale called agreeableness. I'm the bottom 1% on this scale, according to a scientific test I did called Ocean. Okay. So that means that I very much don't hold that view. Okay. It means I can be cruel to be kind. Eric is probably on the other end. So even I've had some practice at this. I did have a Britishness in me that was, you know, I had to get past when I had to sort of train that out, as it were. So we do have, myself, I have conditioning. The other thing here is the embodiment piece, right? The embodiment piece here of finding that firmness, that assertiveness in the body. Martial arts was very helpful for me. Yeah. Once you realize someone can take a punch in the face, you realize probably a word's not such a big deal.
As well, there's an aspect of like belonging. Like so the fear is like there'll be this disconnection and then we won't have belonging. And again, I think that's around like, well, can we find that do we belong to ourselves? Do I know that I belong to myself? And then the other, I don't need to find or beg for my belonging externally. So there's a real piece in that for me, really honing that and believing that. Because then it doesn't matter what the other person's response is. I belong.
Great. So there's only 2 answers to all questions, right? Who knows the 2 answers in all my workshops? Answer number 1, it depends. Answer number 2, practice. Okay. So what do you do when your body freezes when you want to be assertive? You practice facing pressure, practice being assertive, and you graduate it. So little bits, okay? You don't go straight into the hardest possible thing. That's just going to create overwhelm and a freeze response. Yeah. So you practice with your cat. When you practice with your cat, Then practice with your friend who's really fluffy and nice. Then practice with a man because you're scared of men. Then practice with the scariest person in the world. Then practice with your abusive ex-partner. Does it make sense? Right? So we don't go straight in for the hardest thing. We build it up gradually by gradually. Doing some kind of an assertive embodiment practice like martial arts can be good. Anything that's punchy kicky, anything that has that oomph in it. The key thing is you like the teacher, the club's not abusive, it's safe. You know, these are the kind of key pieces, okay? More than I don't want to recommend a style because it depends on the teacher. Cool. So practice. Another piece here, knowing your actual values. So you'll always be pushed around by other people's needs if you don't know your actual values. What is it you really care about? What matters to you? Yeah? Having a clear sense of your own values. Stop the side chat, please, particularly you, Carol. Okay? Lots of side chat going on. If you want to bring it into the group, feel free, but please do that verbally. Cool. So, knowing your own values, finding the embodiment. You can practice no pose from Embodied Yoga Principles.
How did you know I was doing side chat?
I know, I'm psychic.
Because I'm doing it in private chat. And I was very pleased because I was actually saying no to somebody at a request. So you can stuff that, Mark, because I'm very pleased with what I did.
So mean. My feelings are hurt. Okay. So good. Carol's clearly got the message about realizing she's not responsible for my feelings. Let's give Carol a round of applause. Okay, can everyone make a request to someone else in the chat that's unreasonable? An unreasonable request to anyone. Nancy Reed, give me $1,000. There we go. So we're going to give you a little practice of saying no in the chat because that's the easy version. Saying it to someone's face becomes the harder version, right? And I calibrate this with my students. So Erica, can we do a bit of a no game? Can we play the playing no game?
Oh yeah.
You just did it wrong. You just said yes. Oh. Okay, so
every time we do.
Erica, I just want you to say no, okay? No. That's all it is.
No.
Erica, please.
No.
Erica, it's in front of everyone. It's embarrassing. I've got colleagues here. There's pretty girls here. It's really embarrassing. Can you just play the game?
No.
Erica, please. I just need you to. I've had such a hard day. I've just been really abused. It's been so hard. I'm really having a tough day. Please.
No, Mark.
Erica, let's play the game.
No.
I'm not bloody paying you if you don't.
You're not paying me anyway.
That's true. Okay, let's give Erica a round of applause for playing the Saying No game. So what I do with students is I plead and I beg and I threaten, I do all sorts of things. I try and find that this is what kids do, by the way. All right? Kids are always looking for the chink in your armor. Kids are more behavioral adaptive than you are, so they cycle through behaviors until they find one you can't do. Yeah? So that's why kids are tough, man. It's tough. It's a tough gig. They've just got way more behavioral options than you have, so they just keep changing until they find one you can't handle. Yeah? Genius. The genius of torture, being tortured by a child. Nancy needs to come off mute to ask a question. Coach me for free. No, Tara, I won't. My rates are actually got ridiculously high. I just worked out what my rates are from the courses I'm doing, and it's getting ridiculous. I'm saying no to everything. With the conference coming up, I'm like, no. Yeah. This is the other thing. Knowing that your no comes from love. Okay. So there's a little practice. One is know and I love you. So you're differentiating the person from the request. That's a good little practice. Know and I love you. That's what I say to my niece all the time. She's always asking for absurd things. Will you drive me to Disneyland? No, and I love you. Right? It's like, I'm sure as she gets older, the things will become more sophisticated. Can you buy me some beers? No, and I love you. Yeah. Okay. So, no, and I love you is a good move. Another one is realizing that the no protects something you love. So for me right now, if I was to give Tara, say, 10 free coaching sessions, that would mean 10 hours I was not working on the Embodiment Conference. And that is unacceptable to me. Because I want that. I love that project and I want it to do well. Make sense? Yeah, every hour you spend with a friend who you don't really want to be with and you'll be there resentfully is 1 hour less you spend with a friend that really needs your help, or your family, or working on your business, or looking after yourself, or fucking masturbating. I don't care. It's 1 hour less of something you care about. Does that make sense? Yeah, so once you get that you can't say yes to everything, your no comes from love.
It links back to knowing your values, doesn't it? It links back to that same thing. Know your values, know what you love, and then the rest can follow on from that in a way.
Yeah. So not being nice, being an ethical asshole comes from love. That's our key message today, okay? And different expressions of that.
But actually, Mark, I find you're much more strongly ethical than I am, because you have a really strong sense of it. Whereas because I have less of a sense of it, mine can be more easily swayed. So what I have to keep developing a really strong connection to my ethics, even though I'm a Buddhist practitioner 10 years, but Mark has a really strong sense of his ethics and they're unwavering, you know? So yeah, I think that's a really key piece in this.
Just because I don't fancy you, Erica. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Erica. Okay, someone said money. Yes, income. Okay. Do you fancy you, by the way? Just a bit.
I know.
So, you're quite hot. Okay, income. Sorry, I was just flirting with my colleague. This is really unprofessional, but occasionally that happens on a workshop.
It's all right.
So, but here's the thing: whether I find her attractive or not, completely irrelevant to her self-esteem. Do you get that? Can you unhook your self-esteem from being liked? Whether it's someone likes you as a friend, someone likes you as an artist, someone likes you as a yoga teacher, someone likes you as a potential sexual partner. Can you unhook your self-esteem from that? Right? And Erica just did that very beautifully. I said, and I was mostly joking, right? But I said, I don't fancy you. Oh, that's fine. And I said, but I do fancy you. She said, that's fine. Either way. Does it make sense? Did you catch that? She really lovely held it. Okay. Now, what about, some of you have this with sexuality. Who likes to be desired? That can be one. Yeah. People game the shit out of that, don't they? Yeah. It's like, I don't want to have sex with you. I just want you to want to have sex with me. Yeah. It's like, that's so common for many people. Another one, who thinks that when someone buys your product or your class or your service, that means you're loved? Right? I spoke to an artist today who really wanted everybody to buy her thing so they loved her. Make sense? How bad for your business is that? Please buy my thing, because if you don't love me. How attractive is that as a business offer? Please buy the thing because I don't want you to hate me. It's really unattractive. Yeah. So this stuff about asking for what you want, so good for getting paid. Yeah. So good for getting paid and getting laid. Let's stick with the fundamentals. So in terms of like who here feels guilty when they ask for money for their work? Okay. That's a form of self-abuse. Oh my God. There's a lot of you. That's a form of self-abuse. Yeah. I'm currently charging, this is a Russian oligarch who wants to work with me, and we're going to charge him £800 an hour. Okay. And I realized that's a bit undercharging compared to what I earn with some of the other products right now. And even with that pushed my limit. Part of me was like, okay, there's a capacity I've built for say £200 an hour. That's a pretty standard coaching rate for me. Yeah. So there is a capacity. There is something we grow into. So yeah, if you can't ask for what you want, and if you can't defend your boundaries, your business is fucked. Your business is fucked and you're not. Yeah. Like absolutely. Those two things are really going to suffer from the lack of those skills. Cool. Erica, what are some of the practices that have supported you in developing a stronger core and becoming less nice and more firm? That's from, is it Zizing in Singapore? Sorry if I'm absolutely murdering your name there.
Yeah. So returning to self. So really doing that movement from habitual kind of out in relationship, checking it's all okay, to coming back in, checking with the body regularly, feeling that sense of like, I belong here. This is rooting down, taking up space from that place. So coming out of action orientated towards other and more like, what do I want to do here? What, tuning into the tone, the sort of the inner impulses, which were very dulled and very lost. And then from there into the more assertive kind of taking up space, the yang sort of saying no, all of the stuff that Mark's just talked about. I took karate for a while. And also just Mark, being in relationship with Mark has had a huge effect on it.
You had a model, didn't you? You had a role model. But you're my role model for being kinder, Erica, as well. So we both have role models.
Yeah.
Thank you, I'll take it. So who you surround yourself with is important, right? Who models that in your life? It may not have been the past generation.
And that comes up a lot for the women I work with. So I wouldn't underestimate that. It's like a lot of women will say something along the lines of, where are we seeing this being modeled? Like, where are we seeing women really modeling this? And we're not. So I do think that that's a really key piece, is like, find a woman or a man, find someone in your life that does do this well, who you can like take as a role model, because we've lost that at the moment. We're sort of devoid of elders and examples at the moment. And
who you trust isn't an arsehole.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's when people come up to me, they'll say, look, Mark, it looks like you're making money, but you don't seem to be a total asshole. Can you tell me how to do that? Yeah. It's like, that's the role models you want, because it's like breaking your model in your mind if you have to be one or the other. Powerless is the same as skin, is the same as unlaid, is the same as all those things, right? It's unsuccessful. It's being a loser, okay? In whatever that is according to your values. Virginia's cat didn't like that. I said loser, and Virginia's cat went, Virginia's cat's not a loser. Okay. I'm loving the requests here. I'm just seeing, I do my ironing. I haven't done the ironing in 10 years. Okay, I refuse to. Here's a fun one that you'll like as an example. My book publisher sent me a long email about all these things I was supposed to have to do. I didn't read it. I just emailed back saying, too long, make shorter. I didn't promise to read their email. And this is my publisher, right? They're a major fucking publisher too. They were like, no one's ever said that to us before. I was like, not my problem. It's a long email. I'm not reading it. Okay. Any other great ones here? Let's give me a ticket to Hawaii. Someone punched my etch in the face. So, fine, Zara, no problem. By the way, part of feminine violence is getting masculine people to do your violence for you, by the way. Yeah. I was once sitting with my Russian friends in the staff room in Russia during EFC Russia, and I said, if I pissed you off, what would you do? What would you do? And someone said, oh, I'd spread a rumor that would get my brother to kill you, and you wouldn't even know where it came from. I was just like, oh my God. Wow. Hate to come across as needy. Okay. Good. I think we have sort of, yeah, Erica, you can put your website up if you want. If people want to work one-to-one, Erica's more affordable than I am. So, she won't be in a couple of years, I bet. She'll be too popular. All right. Cool. I find you very relieving. It is a bit of a fresh air when we can tell the truth, huh? At the moment, everyone's a bit stifled, aren't they? Fucking can't speak the truth anymore. Ideas have to die so people don't. Questions, comments. Most important takeaways. I love me too. Most important takeaways from today. I'd love to hear everyone, one sentence from everyone. One sentence, most important takeaway. By the way, we know when we said the insulting each other game, we could have done that with compliments. Maybe we should finish with that. So you're amazing. You're the best trainer in the world. Thank you very much. Yeah. You're awful. You're the worst embodiment trainer ever. Thank you very much. Treat those two imposters just the same. You know who said that? Rudyard Kipling. Poem If. Great poem. I don't care if he was a horrible person. Deletion of all verbal habits. Nice. Knock, knock, knock. Difference between nice and kind. Time to get my martyr shit together. No justs. Separate being light from self-esteem. Nice. Imagine being hated by everyone. Like, this is a great visualization. Have you ever done a death visualization? This is worse. Okay, so death visualization is quite challenging. A death visualization is where you imagine dying and your corpse rotting and being eaten by worms. It's a traditional practice around non-attachment of mortality done by Tibetan Buddhists and Theravadan Buddhists. Okay, if you come on any of my trainings, you'll probably do a death meditation at some point because I'm a morbid fucker. However, there's one more extreme. It's called the shame meditation. Do you want to do a shame meditation with me? Some of you are like, no, anything but that. Breathe, relax. Okay, so I'm going to offer the shame meditation. Just mute me for the next 3 minutes if you don't want to do it. Okay, this is how it works. Close your eyes. If you're doing the meditation, close your eyes. If not, go on YouTube and look at kitten videos for the next 3 minutes. That's totally a valid option. Some days we just need to look at fucking kitten videos. Okay, just Google boobs or something. Just something nice to look at for 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, if not, you're here. Okay, so close your eyes. What I want you to imagine is the newspapers come out and you turn on your computer in the morning.
Varying degrees of pressure, varying degrees of stress. And
goodbye.
Essentially,
goodbye. this person and eliminate him from here. Get rid of him. Okay, chuck him out. Okay, so that's a boundary. I told you, warned you, don't do other stuff. So the meditation, close your eyes. You wake up in the morning, you turn on the phone, it's BBC or Al Jazeera or CNN, whatever you watch, right? Whatever you know, the biggest one in your country. And then the headlines is the worst thing about you. Okay, it says Veronica, Fabienne, Zara, whoever it says, is a awful, horrible person. You've done the most worst things and everyone believes it. It says, and then you walk down the street and it's on every newspaper, on your picture and your mother's picture crying, okay? And everyone believes it. Your husband, your wife, your partner, your children believe it. You come home, you say, oh my God, I can't believe people are lying. And all your friends and family say, they're not lying. We know you did it. You did the thing. You killed the kitten. You stole the cheese. You did the thing. It's the worst thing you can imagine people saying about you. You're a terrible human being. Okay? They're just saying the worst things. Everyone believes it. And then here's what you do. You skip down the street singing a song. You go to the park and you play on the swings without a care in the world because you don't give a shit. And that's the end of the meditation. How you doing? You still with me? Some of you are in like deep shame. Yeah. So the art of not giving a shit, you should practice this regularly. You should practice this regularly. No one until you're enlightened is immune to it, right? I used to go up to just beautiful Russian women in the street in Moscow and say, excuse me, I just wanted to stop you. You look so beautiful. I wanted to say hello. And sometimes they would just ignore me. They would just walk around me and without even making eye contact. Sometimes they would look at me with disgust and say, I would not date you, you little man. Yeah. Sometimes they would just be like, go away, you creep, you've scared me. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I was trying to be polite. Whatever response was, the ability to just go, have a lovely day. Sometimes I say, thank you so much, here's my phone number, right? That's equally, thank you so much, have a lovely day. Yeah? You do shit that's weird. Stand the wrong way round in the elevator. Ever tried that? It's a great practice. Stand the wrong way around on the escalators or in the elevator in the lift, right? Just, it's not illegal. Or stand in the street and point at the sky. Okay? Or just as you're walking through a crowded shopping center, bark, 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 make a loud chicken noise and then just keep walking like nothing happened. Okay? Do something weird and socially unacceptable every day. Most people are society's little bitch, and because of that, they'll never be true to themselves. I was just in the Nazi museum in Germany. You know who most Nazis were? They were nice people who went along with how things were at the time. There was a few who were evil and sadistic, a few real psychopaths, but most people just went along with things. The same under the Soviets, so I'm not just having a go at the Germans here. They just went along with things because they weren't able to rock the apple cart. There's this great picture of like 500 guys doing a Nazi salute and one guy standing with his arms crossed. Okay, outside a factory. You seen that picture? Fucking legend, that bloke. Okay? 500 people saluting. Then one guy, not fucking doing it. He was high on trait disagreeableness. He was like me, bottom 1% agreeableness. Okay? He was a fucking hero, but he was a hero because he wasn't a conformist. If you're agreeable, you're a conformist. Yeah? So practice this. Practice doing things that are weird. Yeah? Order your coffee in Starbucks in a ridiculous French accent, for example. You say, I want my Starbucks. What is this? Okay? Fabian, excuse me once again. I'm getting over my French hatred. You're healing me, mate. You're healing me. You're such a nice guy. So it's, do something ridiculous. Okay? Every day, one thing where you practice not being conformist. Because then when the Nazis come, you'll be the one with your arms crossed. Okay, when the conforming pressures to get you to go against your values, you'll go, nah, fuck that. It's a habit. It's a habit. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you absolutely need the ability to seem ridiculous, to be mocked, to be criticized. You know how much hate mail I get from running the Embodiment Conference? Most day, I woke up to it this morning, 8 a.m., 3 people online saying I was a piece of shit and a Nazi. Really? A Nazi? Come on. Yeah, come on. Fuck's sake. Yeah? I don't like that accusation. I'm not immune. I'm not enlightened. I'm a human being who gets hurt the same as everyone else, but I don't let it fucking silence me. Don't let it silence me. Does it make sense? So being nice also means being silent around things that other people disagree on. Yeah? A very small percentage of vicious people can silence all the nice people. All the nice people are terrified of the vicious people. Guys, still breathing? Still doing okay? So, and I'm not doing a very good job of selling it this to you. So if you do this, yes, you'll get more money. Yes, you'll get laid more. You might get hate mail. You might have people that don't like you. But the people that will like you for who you are. And that's fucking nice. That's fucking nice. It's a nice thing. You get the right customers too, actually, if you're not full of shit. Yeah? We used to get loads of complaints because I used to pretend to be nicer than I was. Okay? These days, we generally get, like, most people who come to my trainings, I'd say 95% are like, we like it. We know how it's going to be. It's like, you know, unless today was your first day, you probably weren't shocked that I swore or talked about tits, right? No? Aggie likes it. See, Aggie's telling my customer, Aggie's like, where can I sign up for the next one? That's the person I want. The person that has joy in my training, not the person who's like, fuck this guy. Yeah? So it's like, if I was pretending to be something else, I'd be getting the wrong customers.
Beyond that, like the number one regret of the dying is they lived a life that wasn't true to themselves, that wasn't true to their own desires and their own, and that's because we're all too nice, you know, like you think, oh, you don't want to get to the point of dying and realize you were never true to yourself or never knew yourself or never lived the life you really wanted to live because you were trying to fit in and find belonging with other people, you know. Fuck that.
I can't believe you swore. Oh my God. Let's look at this. I think we should finish with something fairly pleasant here. So I've been watching, is it Maram stroke her cat? Her cat's just like, stroke my chin. I deserve to be stroked. I would like a stroke. Cats don't give a shit, okay? Asking for what they want. Cats are like, you may stroke me now. That's enough. Okay? Cats have good boundaries. Okay? Cats hunt for what they want. Cats are still cute and lovable, okay? But they don't need to be loved. A cat is like, a dog's like, please love me. A dog's like, if you would like to love me, I will allow it. Yeah? I once caught my wife looking in the mirror. I said, don't worry, honey, you look lovely. She said, I am not worrying. I am merely admiring myself. It was just fucking epic, Daria. Epic. Classic, Daria. Absolutely awesome. Okay? They also don't worry about self-care. My wife's record for baths is 3 baths in a day. Actually, I think a record is 4. 2's her average. She's not like, oh, do I deserve another bath? She's like, I feel like to be comfortable in the water. I will have another one. Huh? Make sense? Who thinks 3 is excessive? Your homework is to have 3 baths tomorrow. Okay, Virginia? 3 baths tomorrow. 1 in the morning, 1 at lunch. It's like hobbits have 3 breakfasts. My wife is like, this is only my 2nd bath today. It's quite hard to get. Next house I fucking get, okay? 2 toilets. That's what's going to fucking happen. Next house I get. 2 toilets. Ugh. Cool. So what else? Anything else we can learn from cats? Does she do workshops? No, Erica does the workshop. Daria can't teach you because she doesn't know how she does it. She just does it. Oh. Anything else we can learn from cats while we're here on the cat theme? Did you like the cat memes? Or the cat? Matt chose that. Love to Matt, our design guy. My wife approves his marketing, she said yesterday. Cats' love is real and genuine because they don't pretend. There we go. My cat is my teacher. Good. Well, I've enjoyed this. This has been quite a pleasant way into the weekend. I hope no one's too brutalised. It's quite, even though there's a lot of jokes, it's quite full on what we're doing. So, you know, just because I've been an arsehole doesn't mean you should be an arsehole to yourself tonight. So good self-care. All right. Do whatever's nurturing to you. We're essentially challenging the patterns you've had since you were like 4 or 5. Right, at 4 or 5, you learned to be nice, you learned to please people, to get wherever, to smile, you know, to do whatever it was that you learned to do, okay? Oh, not smiling, that's another good practice. Not head tilting.
Oh, God, the head tilt.
Not head tilting, you used to do that all the time, didn't you? And not smiling when someone smiles at you. Try that, someone smiles at you. Women, you'll get smiled at all the time, I'm sure. Just don't smile back. See how it feels. It's really difficult, that one. It's quite advanced, yeah? Hey, look at the camera. Don't smile. Hey. Oh, good work. Good work. Okay, so if you're interested in embodiment, the Everyday Embodiment package goes up tomorrow. So maybe, Erica, you could put a link to that, embodimenteveryday.com. That is an embodiment thing we've got going on. The Embodied Facilitator Course for you trainers and coaches. We're not officially opening sales yet, but basically you want to send Daniela an email before the Embodiment Conference, because it's going to fill up with the Embodiment Conference for sure. I mean, we fill up every year anyway. We're doing it in New York, Berlin, Moscow, and London next year. So we got German, American, English, or Russian options next year. So more options. Today or tomorrow, I think, for the package. I think it's tomorrow for Everyday Embodiment. Anything else we've got going on, Erica? You got any events coming up? What you got happening?
I run a free embodiment circle on a Friday morning, 10 a.m. British summertime. That's for women and women struggling with niceness. We've got 2 sessions left. We're coming into like power and setting boundaries for the next 2. And yeah, my website, yourrighttobe.com, and I'm just coming up with my autumn schedule. So there'll be lots of events and things on there for if you're a woman and you struggle with niceness. So you'll find more information there. Sign up to my mailing list.
Now, men, bad luck. And Purpose Bootcamp, we're doing a free event on life purpose, which this really relates to life purpose. Actually, it's like not allowing someone else to dictate your life, actually being true to your own values. That's very, very core. So if you want to reinforce your life purpose or help find it, that's next week. Then I'm going on holiday. If you're in Russia and you would like to sleep with me, let me know. If you're in Italy and you'd like to feed me, then let me know. Okay. So I'm going to be in Rome and Lucca and Siena and Bologna with my Canadian friends. So that is coming up. Then I'm going to be in Belgium and Holland at the end of August. We're going to do a little meetup in probably Bruges because I'm on holiday. And then Amsterdam, we're doing a training 29th, the Back to Life training in Amsterdam. Or Back to Life England in training is, where is it? It's in September in England. The 30th of September in the UK. And if you're coming from abroad, that one is £1. Okay, it's £1. I like to encourage global warming, so it's £1 if you're flying in from abroad. So there's some chances if you want to sort of meet in person. I like working on Zoom, but it's not as good as the real thing. Let's be fucking honest. I like it. It's good, but it's not great. Great is the in-person stuff. So if you can make Amsterdam or Brighton, then come and say hello. And then it's conference time. So don't talk to me. Don't email me. Don't say anything to me. I'm too busy. I'm too busy to be alive. Good. Any final comments before we close? I'm enjoying that we have an audience in Mexico and Kuwait, Hungary. So international these days. It's super cool. Super cool. Still okay? Remember what I said about looking? You still good? You're still good? Don't make any big decisions in the next few hours, okay, guys? Okay? Just take care of yourself tonight. It's been quite intense. Erica, anything you want to say on the self-care front that you find? Nice, you fat cunt. Thank you, Carol.
No.
I'm losing it. It's my COVID belly.
What you said, just recognize like you've been strong. This is strong stuff. You're not your fault, but you are your responsibility. And now you know a bit more, you're even more responsible for taking action and shifting that. But with kindness, because it was the best strategy that you had at the time. So that mix.
So much nicer than I am. So I meant all that shit too. Okay, can you unmute everyone, Erica? Can everyone say goodbye, thank you, or fuck off in your first language? Okay, that's the traditional end to all my workshops.
Okay, you're all unmuted.
Fuck off now.
Roto. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fanculo.
I think I had Italian there. It was good. Who's the Italian one? It was like, great. Okay, go away now, you clingy fuckers.
Fuck you.
Go away.
Fuck off, you
English way. 2 fingers. Stay around, Erica. We'll do a debrief. Okay, go away, everybody. Go away. Zara, go away. Can you get rid of everyone else if there's a couple that are... and press stop on the record too, please.